Should you file an insurance claim for your paintless dent repair? That's a great question. Actually, it's a question I get asked many times, and I figured I'd put this video together to kind of answer that question for you. What makes paintless dent repair so great is the fact that we can typically come to your home or office and repair a door ding about the size of a dime, nickel, quarter for a lot less than what your deductible is. And we can keep the vehicle in its original condition, not changing anything about it in the process of repairing it. So what happens when the damage is a little bit more extreme, let's say the size of a football and up, and we typically are going to price this according to a pricing structure that we use on a consistent basis. And sometimes that damage creeps up there a little bit because it requires a lot of effort, time, skill to make these repairs look like they never occurred using the paintless method. And if your vehicle is a good candidate, it's a no-brainer. This is a much better quality repair than you're going to get anywhere else. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you a few insurance jobs that I've recently done in the Central Florida area. I'll get you a better understanding of how the process works. We'll go from there. Stay tuned. All right, so jumping right in, if you've never actually seen a paintless dent repair taking place, here's one firsthand. This is an insurance job that I did at a local body shop where, at the customer's request, they wanted to have this fender done using the paintless method, as you can see here that I did. And the front bumper that you can see is damaged right there. They wanted to have that resprayed by the body shop. So this actually worked great for me, the customer, and the body shop that I did this repair at. All right, so this is a brand new, and when I say brand new, I mean literally 1,000 miles on the odometer, 2019 Subaru Outback. It's got some pretty significant damage, as you can see there on the front and rear doors. The customer did a lot of research and finally determined that paintless dent repair was the best option because, let's face it, nobody wants to replace doors or repaint anything on a brand new vehicle if they don't have to, right? So this customer decided to file an insurance claim after I did the estimate on the vehicle. I did this in their garage in a matter of hours, and they were back on the road, and nothing affected about that vehicle in any way. So somebody kicked this door right here, and looking closely at it, it's a pretty hard hit. And I looked down the door there just to make sure it was a good candidate, because sometimes those beams, if they're bent, then they're not good candidates. So we looked down there, everything was good. And as far as the paint, had some scuffs in there, and I informed the customer that we could do a little bit of wet sanding and polishing, minimizing that little damaged area there, and they were okay with that in the end. So this is the aftermath of a major hailstorm that hit in Kentucky when this customer was actually driving through. And you can see there's some pretty significant damage, probably about a good 500 plus dents all over this vehicle, scattered about. And customer filed an insurance claim, actually came out, I did an estimate for it, and it was approved by the insurance company. And I had this vehicle done in about 2 days. I came out and did this at the customer's home. This vehicle retained its original factory paint. Zero diminished value. Huge save. And it's pretty much only up until recent that we're starting to see insurance companies use PDR or paintless dent repair technicians for side panel damage that you're seeing here, for instance. We can deliver just as good aesthetically of a repair as a traditional paint and body shop, but you have to keep in mind our repairs are completely different because we are not altering or changing anything about this vehicle. There's zero diminished value. It's probably the closest you're going to get to going back in time and reversing the damage. Beautiful Lexus GX 460. This is some pretty severe stuff here on this rear door. This metal or material was high-strength steel. High-strength steel is a lot more difficult to work on or manipulate versus traditional mild-grade steel. This thing was fighting me the entire way through, but overall, This was a great save. An overall win-win for this customer here. Very pleased in the end. So here we have a pretty rare color on this 2015 Honda Fit. And it's kind of like a three-stage pearl yellow paint, which if you haven't seen this in the direct sunlight, it's a pretty cool effect. And I could see why this customer didn't want to paint it, because I guess she had a couple different quotes from different shops, and they were explaining to her that they'd have to paint a really large portion of this vehicle to try to get it to match. She just didn't want to go through all that, and even though there was a little bit of paint damage there, we were able to seal that off for her and actually apply some factory touch-up paint. It was kind of an inconspicuous area when everything went back together, and the outcome was fantastic. She was really happy in the end of this one, for sure. And if you didn't catch earlier, you could see me buffing off that scuff that was on the plastic bumper area too as well, which worked out great. And for our final repair, we have a newer Cadillac Escalade here with some pretty significant fender damage. And I wanted to kind of show you how we established the final cost for a dent repair. Basically, this entire area is circled in the distortion that we're seeing in the light fixture that we use. And we come up with an initial size cost, and then we add a percentage for any additional factors that might be involved. This particular one here had what's called a body line that was affected, and also what's called obstructed damage. You can see there's another wall of metal behind there, which made this a very challenging repair. Those are a couple factors that were involved here, but as you can see, came out fantastic. We had a really, really happy customer in the end on this one for sure. So I leave you with this. If you decide that you do not want to file a claim, it's 100% okay to pay out of pocket if that's the route you want to take. It does exist, though, as an option if you do decide you want to file an insurance claim for these repairs. If you have any questions about the Paintless Dent Repair service, feel free to reach out at 386-216-5185. I thank you for taking the time to become educated about the process of paintless dent repair, the very valuable process of paintless dent repair. I look forward to producing more videos like this in the future. Thanks again.